Dan and I met when we were freshmen in college. We were in the same dorm, and we were drinking buddies in college and afterwards. So we were friends. I was in business school and thought about starting a brewery, and Dan and I were both shared the thought that beer should be better, that beer around here should be better, that we go out to bars and the bars were fun, but all the beer tasted the same. And so why was it there was only one brewery in all of New England? Why was it that the beer wasn't very interesting and there were no breweries we could visit? So we had been to Europe, we had seen some other types of situations, seen where breweries were parts of the community, and we wanted to bring something like that here.
Rich, in his second year of business school, worked with a classmate and did a research report on the microbrewing industry, as was known then, largely in the Pacific Northwest, and the feasibility of opening one here in Boston. And then, approached me and another classmate about joining him to help turn that into a business plan, which we did in 1986, and then went out and raised $430,000 from 35 friends and family to get the brewery started, ordering equipment, leasing space, and we moved in here 26 years ago in March of '87 and sold our first keg out the front door in June of 1987. Our neighbor here and landlord and great friends in the building was a seafood processing company founded in 1887, so we were the next new company on the block. There were not a lot of new businesses down here 27 years ago. But in addition to that, you're right, starting a microbrewery back then, people had no idea what we were talking about, what that meant, what the beer was going to taste like. I mean, now a whole new generation has come along, very familiar with wonderful craft beer, but as Rich said, the landscape then was 9 out of 10 of your taps in a bar were all the same style. They were light lagers. So when we came out with our Harpoon Ale, which was a very different type of product, we really had an educational job ahead of us to teach folks what we were talking about.
Well, we were very lucky to find this building 1986, 87. There were only 3 spaces in the city of Boston. We wanted to be in the city of Boston. There were only 3 spaces that had the ability to have a loading dock and build some refrigerated space, and it was about 5,000 square feet of space was all we could afford. So there really wasn't many places here, and this was by far the best. So we feel very lucky to be here. And I think fortunately, as we've grown from 5,000 square feet to almost 50,000 square feet here, the area has grown as well, and grown well. And I think there's a really nice fit here between the industrial uses in this marine industrial park and the commercial uses and the residential uses that have come by. I think it's been a really nice development, but it's been great to be part of it. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe all the changes that have happened, but they don't happen quickly. I mean, they don't happen overnight. A lot of things have taken a lot of time. We are not a company that has bought a lot of billboards or done radio or is on ESPN or, between innings of a baseball game. We haven't gone kind of a mass marketing route. So the way we tell people about ourselves is, first of all, have a great experience at the brewery, because that's absolutely one of the most, the second most important thing to the beer we make is that people have a great time when they're here. And so our events are really a great way of doing that. We started events in 1990 when sort of the prospects for the company weren't so great. And I think that's one reason people have gotten to really know us. I mean, our Oktoberfest is something that people have come to for years. I mean, we've done them now for 23 years, and it's just become a standard kind of in Boston, and I think that's the best way for people to get to know us, and I think it's the way that people have gotten to know us the most.
I think every brewery, every consumer product, right, tries to make their brand stand for something, and I think from the earliest days, Rich and I are talking about beer, it was not only to make great beer, but also to celebrate the sociability of beer. Our motto of the company is love beer, love life, and whether it's our events, our brewery tours, or going out into the community and running promotions at bars and restaurants, I mean, we try to celebrate great beer and the sociability of beer, what beer does to bringing people together. And as you look around this space, for example, which in some ways is a culmination of that vision, it's long communal tables where people are to be brought together to have beer together and enjoy one another's company. So I'd say it's great beer, and it's a celebration of the sociability of beer. And again, I think that's captured in the Love Beer, Love Life motto that we try to live by.